think that singing in a choral ensemble is a really good remedy for the aloneness that a lot of people in this generation feel. They're singing together, their individual contribution is important, but what's even more important than that is how they're listening to others around them.
The kind of class load you have being a music major is huge. It's a lot. I currently am taking 20 hours because with your music classes you have to take your gen eds too, and there's a lot of music classes that are 0 credit that you are required to take. So the classes really just stack up and you just have a lot to do, like your theories, like if you're a freshman you have your theory class, you have your oral theory class, like those are 2 different classes, and then your piano, and then your ensembles and your private lessons, and that right there can take up like 12, 14 hours, and then you add on your gen eds. So. Chamber Singers is a small choir, and we mostly do a cappella music, and the harmonies are really close together and usually sung not in a full voice, like kind of simplified. It's more advanced because the music is definitely more difficult. The level of singing is more advanced, and musicianship that needs to be in that choir.
Yeah, I think students are drawn to audition for the Chamber Singers because they realize that there's a higher level of personal accountability in Chamber Singers. Because they're fewer, it's really obvious if one person makes a mistake or one person isn't pulling his or her weight. So I think students enjoy that kind of, it's not stress, but it gets your adrenaline going and you feel alive when you have to do something at a very high level of excellence consistently.
My path to Chamber Singers started right out of the gate when I got to UNF. My very first semester, I was contacted by Dr. Tasher, and when I auditioned here, she was interested in having me in the choir. So my very first semester, I auditioned and was able to join the group, and I've been here ever since. Chamber Singers is definitely the highest level when it comes to choirs. The majority of people in Chamber Singers are musicians and vocal musicians. But I think as far as Chamber Singers goes, apart from other university choirs, is the diversity of repertoire that we do. Definitely Dr. Tasher, she's opened my eyes past the Western world of music into, we're doing Eastern European things like Estonian, and then a little bit of Western European things like Portugal and Icelandic. Spanish,
French, German, Italian, English. I mean, we vary in so many different types of languages.
But diction classes are made so singers can see a text and know how to pronounce it no matter what language it is. Ours are in French, Italian, and German, so there are 3.
It's a little bit more difficult and definitely more rigorous. We sing in a lot of different languages, so the music requires a lot more attention outside of actual rehearsal time.
You are expected to look at your music outside of class and just learn your part. Time management is the most difficult thing because you have to find time for yourself, for sleep, and because for the health of your voice, if you're a singer, like you have to sleep and you have to practice, and as well as doing your other homework and studying for exams.
I think it's an outlet for self-expression with others, and that's pretty cool because there aren't that many activities you can do where everyone's doing something similarly on his or her own part, but it's making something that they can't do alone. You know what I mean?
I joined Chamber Singers because I enjoyed making great music. Yeah.
I find a lot of joy in conducting this ensemble. I'm very consistently proud of the singers, and from where they begin in August to where they end up in May is always an awesome experience. And I think many of them are aware of it, but you know, it's hard as a student to really see your own growth. But when they look back and I'll say, remember back at our audition when you couldn't sing a perfect fourth? They're like, yeah. So I take a lot of joy in that.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have an essay to write, I have homework, but I remind myself, oh, at 4:30 or 2:30 today, I have opera and I get to sing and just make music for the day. So that really that gets me through the day, is just making music.
It's very complex. Obviously, when you just look at the choir, we're all very different people. We all come from very different backgrounds. It can be difficult sometimes, it definitely can be, but it's very rewarding when everyone can put, you know, stresses and everything of the day, just put everything aside and just come together and make music. It's very rewarding.